Well, the party mode is still going on over in Lille, as of course they were the champions of last season. But what will happen next campaign? Will it be PSG? Will it be Lyon? Or will it be somebody else? We'll take a little look next. Folks, back once again with an early door prediction video. Today we're taking a look at the 2021-2022 Ligue 1 campaign over in La France, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, where the heck have you been? Always smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Ligue 1 related, world football related. We're here. I'm the one Roski, that's right, boys and girls, we are back. We're back at home, back, of course, getting the videos out quick and early, and of course we're getting an early one here to take a look at my early thoughts for the Ligue 1 campaign. That's right, some new faces in there, of course, some familiar ones gone, but of course, who will end up at top of the pops? We'll take a look at all of that in a second. Of course, big shout outs to the VIPs. They are the Patreons, boys and girls. They are the Patreons. Thank you for your continued support. I really do appreciate it, guys. If anyone else wants to join the last just band of men and women, check out the link down below, patreon.com/roverseas. But anyway, we're going to jump in the deep end now, of course, reveal the table from the middle all the way to the bottom, and then we're going to do the top half. And of course, reveal my winner. Who's it going to be? Let's take a look at it then, shall we? Jump straight down in the middle. We're going to start with the 11th place. It is Montpellier. That's right. Of course, Montpellier last round, finishing in, where did they finish? They finished around about in 8th, so a bit of a downgrade for them. They have lost their manager, of course, Michael de Zakaren. Where the heck's he from? He's from Armenia. His contract has come to an end. A bit of a disagreement, perhaps, mutual passing of the mantle. I don't know who the manager is. I am recording this on the 1st of June, so we'll see how all that pans out next campaign. So yes, big question marks about Montpellier's future, of course. Not bad season though, finishing in 8th. Mid-table sort of security for them. I do think it's going to be quite tight towards the top end of the French league this time around, with a bit of a shake-up as well at the top. So for me, I think Montpellier will be happy with 10th. A bit of a downgrade, and of course the question marks about the new manager will of course have their own insecurities. Next up, of course, we have Strasbourg. Strasbourg actually coming in now in 12th. Of course, bringing in Julien Stéphan, of course, a manager I've been looking at recently. He did a tremendous job with Rennes, of course, prior to this, and was out of a job just back into that season. So he's gone from it's a balmy old employment, that is. Yeah, Julien Stéphan coming in from Rennes back in March, who did tremendously, got them into Champions League football last round, and I think it's a master stroke by Strasbourg. Of course, Thierry Lory moving away to give them a bit of a shout. Of course, Strasbourg finishing in 15th last round. I think they'll get to around about 12th, maybe top half. That is a good appointment. That's a very, very strong appointment. And again, if I'd done my research a little bit more thoroughly, I might have pushed them towards maybe 8th, if not more than that. But I'm going to go still sticking with 11th again. It's a strong season, a gain of 4 spots in the end, and that is a tremendous hire. Julien Stéphan as well coming in to take over the reins, of course. So we'll see how he fares when he takes over in July, of course. Into what do we have now? At 13th, it is Angers. Angers also change of management as well. Again, not the best season, I would say, for Angers, finishing in 30th. They were doing tremendously well in the early part of the season, and maybe flattered to maybe get into that top half of the table. Ultimately finishing in 13th this time around. I do see them at 13th, pretty much staying put. New face as well, already confirmed. Stefan Moulion has moved on, and Gerard Batacle's come in to take over the reins again just a couple of days ago, really, to take over the reins. So we'll see about that. So yeah, season of steady Eddie, no major change, and I think for them to just be in this division and be mid-table will be not a bad sort of finish the season. Again, I think the signs are there that they want to be pushing forward towards the top end. If Moulion resigned at the end of the season, with them finishing in 13th, I think we already know that this could be a one-season wonder for Angers in the end. So not great, but 13th is what it is. Into 14th, I have Saint Etienne. A bit of a downgrade on them as well, finishing in 11th last time around. Claude Puel, still the manager at the helm there, Debuchy as well. Again, I did anticipate them to have a better season than 11th last time around. I've had them, of course, top half. And again, I think it's going to be another slow decrease. It's not no disregard to Saint Etienne. I just think that top 10 is going to be quite hard to break. And again, maybe from 11th to 14th, and the points will be quite small. And if you look at the table this past season, from 10th to 13th, there's a 3 points separate those 4 spots. So it was very, very tight there. I do anticipate it to be very, very tight once again this time around. Keeping hold of the same manager called Claude Powell will be paramount in their safety. And of course, when I say safety, that might be a bit of a slap in the face for them. Really, they think I'm sure they think that they should be a top 8 team. But for me, I think they're going to be another season of woe, 14th. And again, yeah, this confirms, this video right here confirms we're going to be doing League next season for the 2nd season in a row. I thought I really enjoyed the 1st season. My pronunciations are shit, but it's okay. Saint Etienne finishing in 14th in the end. Bordeaux coming in next into 15th, of course, finishing 12th last round. Again, that middle of the road is very, very tight. Yeah, I've got some. That top 10 is difficult, so of course someone has to finish in 15th. I have Bordeaux there. So downgrade, of course, from 12th. Good strong end to the campaign, winning 3 of the final 5 games of the season, 45 points on the board in the end. And again, the points difference from 15th and 12th last season was just 3 points. So it is fine margins, but of course they're going to end up there. Keeping the soul of the same manager as well, Bordeaux. Of course, Jean-Louis Gasset is the governor. Of course, Laurent Koscielny is El Capitano these days over there. So of course, a familiar face to us. Of course, more familiar with English football. But Saint Etienne finishing in 14th, but Bordeaux in 15th. We'll see about that. Next up, we have Troyes. Troyes are the new boys. That's right. They actually finished Ligue 2 as number 1. So they'll be coming in there with their tails up. And of course, that confirms that they'll be there, of course, for the 2nd season. Laurent Battles is your manager. Of course, coming in with Jimmy Guerillon as El Capitano these days. Of course, Troyes, yeah, don't know too much about them, to be fair. I'm only just still learning my bonjours and au revoirs at the moment, so we'll see how they fare. I think the momentum of their season in Ligue 2 will, of course, springboard them into a nice, comfortable spot. We looked at that. If you look at the last time around in the previous season, the likes of Lens and METZ, I think they were the teams that got promoted prior, and they had a tremendous, strong season. And again, I have them doing very, very well this season as well. So again, Troyes just sticking in the division, mid-table, not in the relegation zone, maybe in the relegation discussion a little bit, but ultimately finishing in 16th. They'll be content with that, and I'm looking forward to seeing Troyes. The new boys, of course. Next up we have Nantes, of course. Really, really surprised to see them stick around. They've made it into the relegation playoff. I don't really know how that panned out. I'm going to have a quick shufty of that because I knew they were in that playoff, but I didn't see it. They took on Toulouse, but they lost in the end. I'm just reading how they lost. The 2 goals, away goals, was what it done. So Toulouse were the ones to lose, but Nantes will be back. Of course, yeah, Nantes had a bad back end of the season, bad all season as well. I think they changed manager a couple of times with Antonio Combari, now the man leading the charge. Of course, I can't even remember who was. I think it was. I don't even know who was in the helm before him. It was a big appointment, but it didn't really work out. So Nantes again will have a season of struggle. Not really much to progress on this. For me, I remember Nantes being a top 4 club out in France. Those days are long gone. Of course, so another season of struggle. They did finishing in 18th last time around, so might be you can see that as a bit of a progression, but again the amount of points between 16th and 18th or maybe even 20th will be very, very few. So a couple of little a strong end to the season, or maybe even a strong start could be the make or break for Nantes moving forward. Into what do we have next? We have Brest. Cheeky. Of course, they finished in respectable. Where did they finish last time around? They finished in 17th. So again, flip-flopping them with Nantes. And again, just the fact that they're in this one keeps the jokes going. Brest, of course, we'll be looking forward to having them back again. Of course, no major changes management-wise. Oliver de Gallio is your main man with Jean-Kevin Duvignon wearing the captain's armband these days. Again, just sticking in the division is priority, and they'll do just that by the skin of the teeth. They'll go in the playoff spots, but I think they'll have the quality to stick around in the end. Next up, we have into 19th, we have Lorient. Of course, finishing in 16th last time, 42 points on the board. Comfortably clear of the relegation spots, ultimately. But I think this time around it's going to be a bite too far, or a bridge too far for Lorient. They'll go down, of course. They got goals in them still. The manager, Christopher Pellissier, is not a bad manager as well. It's quite harsh on them, but again, it's going to be fine margins to see them just go down. It might be tight, much tighter. When you looked at the bottom 2 last round, it was quite a well, the bottom club Dijon was nowhere near the quality that needed to be in this division, and Nims was quite comfortably the second worst team in the division as well. So there was quite a gulf between the bottom two and the rest. This time around, I think the gulf is much smaller than that. So I don't think there's going to be such a massive points difference between the relegation spots and the safety. So unfortunately, though, Lorient will be on the receiving end of that and going down in the end. So Lorient to go down into 19th, and joining them is another new boy is Clermont. That's right, Clermont coming through the as second in Ligue 2. Of course, manager. Do we know who the manager is? Pascal Gastien. That's right, with Jonathan Iglesias, El Capitano these days. Again, yeah, keeping a hold of the manager will be paramount. But unfortunately, I think it's just going to be a bit too much for them this time around. One of them's got to go down, and I think it's going to be Clermont in the end. So again, I don't really know too much about them. They might be the next best thing. Who knows? But for me, I just got a gut feeling. One of the two guys will stay, and one of them will go down. I'm plucking for. It's more pluck than anything else for Clermont to go down. So unfortunately, they are the team bottom of the pops. Again, it should be fine margins between bottom and maybe 16th. Of course, with fine margins, and again, maybe they might hang on. But I've got a gut feeling they're going to go down. Early door predictions. We'll revisit these in a couple of months' time. We'll see what's changed. Managerial merry-go-round will continue, I'm sure. As of right now, there are 3 jobs still up for grabs over in Ligue 1, so that could be interesting to see who comes in. And of course, take over the reins. Into 10th now, we have METZ. Tremendous first season back for METZ, finishing in 10th. I see them very much treading water. Not really much change of that. There is a bit of a gulf between themselves in 10th and 9th spot last round. I think there was a good 5 points between the two sides. They'll have to make up that, of course, this time around. I think the margins will be a little bit tighter this time around. I think ultimately they'll be content with mid-table, and again, anything above 17th or 17th and above, they should be content with that. Of course, not too long ago they were a Ligue 2 side, so for them to finish in 10th, back-to-back seasons in my eyes, will be a tremendous achievement for them. So fair play to them. Into 9th, though, we've got Lens, who finished in 7th last time around. They may have made the old conference thing. I don't know how that works all out yet. I'm not too sure who goes in, who doesn't go in. But anyway, a good season for them. Past season. This time around, I think it's going to be a bit of bridge too far, especially if they have Conference League commitments to keep them going. Frank Hasse is doing the wonders, of course, as manager. Of course, he could be lured with the potential of other jobs available. Lille are looking for a new manager. I think I don't know who's coming in for Lille, but they'll be looking for a new manager. Of course, the champions. So that's quite crazy. And of course, he did a tremendous job to finish in 7th where they did. For them, a bit of a downgrade in 9th again. Just like METZ should be content with wherever they land up, especially in the top half of the table. That it's like having all your Christmases at once. So not too bad finishing for Lens in my eyes in 9th. Into 8th now, we're going to go with Reims, of course. Reims last season, not really non-starters, really. Couldn't really get going. Just the 9 wins all season, 42 points on the board. A good 5 points, 5 points adrift off 10th last time around. I do think they will have a more stronger season, a more resolute season this time around, of course, with David Gouillon at the helm, of course. Again, season prior to this, a tremendous season. The last season, a bit of a hangover from that season. They're going to bounce back to some extent to 8th, I think, this time around. Again, I might be well off the mark, but I'm only going off the past couple of seasons, and I think Reims have the quality to be more of a top 10 side than a lower echelon side. But I might be proven wrong on that. I'm sure I'm going to be wrong in a lot of these, but I feel comfortable about putting 8th place with Reims at the helm. Into 7th now, it is a nice one. It is Nice. That's right, of course, Nice under Patrick Vieira a couple of seasons ago did flatter in the top end of the table, and I ran with that last time around. I had them into top 4. This time around, I'm going to be more safe, being more steady, being more sturdy. I'm going to go with 7th. Of course, last time around finishing in 9th ultimately, with a bit of a resurgence, of course, with Adrien Urasa coming in to kind of get them moving. Of course, they've already moved. They've parted ways, Adrien Urasa, and the rumour has it Christopher Galtier from Lille will go over and take over the reins at Nice, which is a bit of a coup, I think. Of course, taking the title-winning manager to your middle of the road sort of team. I don't see it's going to be an instant marriage. Of course, instant sort of bliss. It might take a season or so. I think this will be a transitional season. I think the top six is quite densely packed at the moment. Of course, getting someone else, a new guy, into that top six will be quite hard to do just that. But of course, I think they've got the right managerial appointment, especially if they tie him down to a 2 or 3 year deal, and of course see the benefits of a long-term commitment and not just hope for a flash in the pan. That is Nice. Of course, Christian Gaultier is the rumour. It took him a while to get going with Lille, but of course he ended up with a tremendous product, or tremendous result at the end of it with the title. So he was at the helm for 4 years and eventually got the title. So yes, be patient, and I'm sure you'll get your rewards, which of course would be probably Champions League football. So yeah, for me, Nice, which will be a nice 7th spot. Into 6th, though, it will be the champions. Of course, Lille, a bit of a fire sale going on there right now. Of course, losing the manager is a big, huge blow. But of course, it's job done for him. He's happy with that, taking the title with him. And of course, moving on to pastures new. Of course, some of the key personnel also been linked with moves elsewhere. They lost their keeper, Mike Hannigan, whatever his name is. And of course, some other key faces could also be on the move as well. So big question marks as to who will be still there next season. They do have the joys of Champions League to look forward to, whoever takes over the reins. And of course, looking at the managers, maybe Rudy Garcia is the man to come over. Of course, left Lyon. We'll talk about Lyon in a minute. Other familiar faces, of course, maybe there is another hiccup to be had in regards to the French national team in the Euros. Of course, maybe they have a nightmare campaign. And matey boy, whatever his name is, I can't remember his name, loses the job at the managerial appointments in Zinedine and takes over the national job, and of course the French governor comes in to take over Lille. There are still a lot of attractive options for Lille if they were to go that way. Are they going to use this as just a flash in the pan? We won the championship, happy days, we're content with that for another 25 years. Or will they use this as a springboard to maybe push for top 4 honours on a regular basis? It will all come down to their appointment. If they do get the French national coach, if they get Zidane, if they get somebody like that, then this prediction of 7th will be a little bit, or whatever I've gone with, 6th will be a little bit, I'll have to revisit it in August. If they do make an appointment like Rudy Garcia, it might be a sort of top 6 sort of job. Also, if they make somebody absolutely garbage, then we could be talking a top 10 finish. So a big window, a big summer ahead for Lille. I've got them going in 6th. Into 5th now we have Rennes. That's right. Bruno Genesio's boys, of course, last time around finishing in 6th. Pretty much as you were. Season prior, of course, Champions League. They have been a conveyor belt of talent this past few seasons, and I think it will continue. Of course, Pepe was on there, Rafinha was on there. Of course, the keeper, matey boy of Mendy, of course, was on there, I think. So some really good players coming out of the books. Of course, they're doing it right. They're getting the talent from wherever they're getting the talent, and of course, selling for big money, and of course, reinvested in the team. They've got a nice system going on. A little bit harsh on 5th, but of course, that top 4 is juicy, and of course, for them to break into that top 4, they'll need something special. They might have it. Of course, the key ingredient is the manager. Key ingredient is some of those faces as well, but I do anticipate some movement with their key personnel, and again, it'll just be kind of like a Brentford in Ligue 1. That's what we're talking about with Rennes. So 5th spot for them, another steady old season, and of course we'll see where they end up next time around. And to 4th we have Lyon. That's right, Lyon did finishing 4th last time around. I do have them in 4th this time around. So by the way, that was an improvement for Rennes, going up 1 from 6th to 5th. So Lyon, of course, as you were. Again, losing the manager, Rudy Garcia has gone. Of course, Peter Boas has come in. I think he's from AZ Alkmaar. I'm not sure. Was he employed at AZ Alkmaar last time around? No, he was never in AZ Alkmaar. That's just my football manager brain talking to me. He was actually at Bayer Leverkusen, so he's left Bayer Leverkusen to take over the reins at Lyon. Formerly of Dortmund, formerly of Ajax. Has been around a block a bit, of course, and a very experienced manager, and I think he will get some results out of them. Of course, I don't think Lyon want 3rd or 4th. They want top 2, top 1. Of course, so it's going to be a weight of expectation on Peter Boas' shoulders. I think he'll get top 4, pretty much as you were. They're going to lose the likes of Dempey. Who else are they going to lose? They're going to lose some other key matey boy who went to Atletico. I'm sure they're going to lose him as well. The one who was at Celtics books. So a lot of key faces could be on the move for Lyon next season. It could be very difficult for them to maintain top 4. Boas will be the steady ship that will keep them on the right path. But any dreams of a top title push, I think they're going to be long gone. So yes, I'm going to go with fourth for Lyon. Into third now, we're going to go with Marseille. That's right. Of course, Marseille formerly had Boris Villas as your manager, but this time around they've got Jorge Sampaoli. He's come in, done a tremendous job for them, and of course, a very experienced manager. Once again, exciting manager. Brought in some exciting players, of course, in the January transfer window to maintain their top end status. Unfortunately, they just fell short into fifth, quite considerably adrift of fourth, 16 points to make up. I think they'll be back competing with the big boys this time around. Sampaoli is a name. He's a big name. He's going to bring some exciting players. Very, very exciting summer as well for Marseille. Marseille are my French team. I'll be keeping an eye on them. Got a little soft spot for them. And of course, hopefully they can bring the old school days back to Marseille, to the Velodrome or the Orange Drome or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I look forward to seeing them. Third, of course, an upgrade of 2. And again, maybe back in the Champions League football the season after this one. So into the final 2, we've gone, of course, who's left? Is it PSG or is it somebody else? It is not PSG. I've actually gone with Monaco. Of course, Niko Kovacic's boys coming in. Of course, doing fantastic last season, finishing in third. I think they'll go one step beyond this time around and finish in second. Of course, do a tremendous job as well, Kovacic. Where was he before that? Wasn't he over at Frankfurt or something like that? He did a tremendous job at Frankfurt. He was at Bayern. Yep, I was right. I was right in both those accounts. Of course, formerly Croatia governor as well. So Niko Kovacic is doing wonders for Monaco, and again, I think it's going to be another season of progression. Big question mark though is what's going to go at PSG. Of course, we have Pochettino there. If Pochettino was to stay, of course, serial brides may never the bride. Of course, he did win some cup honours with PSG, but he failed. He failed really at the end of the day to win the title against the Lille side. That is quite a bit of a kick in the stomach. They need to get their appointment right. Right here, right now, who knows who's going to be the manager at PSG? It is Pochettino as of recording on the 1st of June. Zidane still available. Possibly the French coach as well coming on in here. We've got the likes of, I don't know, Rudy Garcia floating around. I don't think it'll be him. It'll be a name. It'll be a major name. Of course, it might even be Pochettino. If it is Pochettino, then of course I think he might just. I'd like to see him win a title. I really would. I think if Pochettino leaves, they are more likely to win the title. That's my gut feeling. And I think they will get Zidane in the end. I think they ultimately will get Zinedine Zidane. They'll come in and they'll win the title in his first season. Because he's done it with Real Madrid. He's a serial winner. He's French. He'll get the best out of them. Of course, having Neymar at your disposal, and of course Mbappe will be, of course, key ingredient. Of course, that is key ingredient as well, keeping a hold of Mbappe for them. But ultimately, yeah, I do have second in Monaco. And I also have top honours going to PS Bloody G. It's going to be tight again. It's going to be exciting this time around. I didn't anticipate this first season to be as good as it was. I am forever. I love seeing the underdog coming on through, and we did see that with Lille winning the title at the expense of the juggernaut. That is PSG, and also the expense of the juggernaut that is Lyon. So credit to Lille, fair play. So that's what we're talking about. The season of fairy tales has happened in various spots around Europe. This one being particular. But that's it, my friends. That is it. That's what I've got at the top of the title for Ligue. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Who do you think will be in charge of PSG at the start of the season? Will it be Pochettino? Will it be Zidane? Will it be the guy who coaches France, who I can't remember his name right now? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. We'll do it all again very, very soon. Also check out the links. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon as well. Also check out the Discord. That's wide open, free to go. There should be a link on the screen right about now. Also check out the Patreon as well if you want to become the latest best mate for life. Check out that link, patreon.com/overseas. But until then, I'll see you soon for the next one, whenever that might be. Have a good summer. Enjoy the Euros.